You know that feeling that sometimes lingers after talking to a certain person, an inexplicable tiredness, a slight fog of confusion in the mind, a subtle weight you can't place. It's not something loud, not an argument. It's more like your peace, which was intact just minutes before, has been lightly scratched. You try to rationalize it, thinking maybe it's the stress of the day, worry about other things. But this feeling has a pattern, and it appears with a disturbing consistency whenever you interact with that specific person, the one whose name starts with the letter C. This is not a warning about obvious malice, nor about cartoonishly toxic people. It's about something far more subtle, and therefore far more common and capable of going unnoticed for years. It's about the careful and loving way divine guidance tries to protect your inner space, your spiritual and emotional growth, signaling an influence that, even without a conscious intention to harm, may be delaying your journey. God, in infinite wisdom, sees the threads our eyes cannot reach. He perceives the energetic patterns, the unspoken dynamics, the small wounds a person carries that, involuntarily, spill over into the environment. And when you are on the verge of a significant breakthrough, when inner doors are aligning to open, this protection becomes even more active. The discomfort you feel is not paranoia, it is not your judgment. It is a sacred whisper, a gentle warning for you to pay attention, cultivate a sharper awareness, and establish boundaries with serenity. This is a deep dive into that signal. Let's unravel together the symptoms you might be ignoring, understand the spiritual and psychological causes behind them, and most importantly, discover the practical and respectful path to navigate this situation, transforming a potential trap into another step toward your peace and your destiny. Let's start with the symptoms, because that's where confirmation happens. Often we suspect something, but we doubt our own intuition. We think we're being overly sensitive, creating problems where none exist. But intuition, especially when attuned by a spirit, attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you, and strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuru readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment. Quest is an instrument of precision. The first symptom is precisely that subtle and almost imperceptible discomfort. You arrange a coffee with this person, the conversation flows, everything seems normal. But upon saying goodbye, instead of the lightness of a good meeting, you feel a lethargy, a need to be quiet, to withdraw. It's as if you lent a bit of your energy and forgot to take it back. It's not anger, not clearly defined sadness. It's a diffuse malaise, and I don't know what it was, but I don't feel right. Another very clear symptom is the mental fog. You share an idea, a project you're excited about, and their response comes wrapped in a sarcastic tone. That's a tough one, or a story about how something similar went wrong for an acquaintance. The message itself might even have a kernel of truth, but the energy accompanying it is one of doubt. And after the conversation, your original excitement withers. The clarity you had vanishes, replaced by a mild confusion. You start questioning details that were secondary before. You lose momentum. This is not an accident. These are small seeds of insecurity being planted, often by someone who, unconsciously, feels threatened by your light, by your movement towards something new. Notice also the patterns of conversation. You see that with this person, topics often revolve around problems, gossip disguised as concern, other people's dramas. Moments where the conversation elevates, inspires, brings hope are rare. It seems there's a magnetic attraction to the heavy side of life, and when you try to bring up a lighter, more constructive topic, the conversation quickly veers back to negativity. This is a powerful symptom. The person's energy tends to drain yours, sucking it into a field of lower frequency where complaint and powerlessness reign. Another point of attention is the feeling of veiled competition. You share an achievement, however small, and the immediate response is an account of a bigger or similar achievement of theirs or of someone close. Oh, how nice that you traveled to the beach. We went to Europe last year. It was amazing. There's no space for your joy to be celebrated in itself. It immediately serves as a springboard for the other to shine. This emanates from a deep internal insecurity, a wound of not being enough. And that untreated wound pollutes the environment and causes you unconsciously to start downplaying your own victories, to find them too small to share. Now, it's crucial to understand the causes. Why does this happen? And why would God, or the universe, or our own higher intuition care about something so subtle? The answer lies in physics and spirituality meeting. From a psychological and even energetic standpoint, we are open systems. Constantly, we exchange information and influences with our environment. When you spend time with someone, especially in deep or emotionally charged conversations, there is a synchronization of brainwaves, an alignment of emotional states. It's the basis of empathy. The problem arises when one of the people carries in their unconscious, imbalanced patterns, unresolved trauma, deep limiting beliefs, masked envy, a fractured self-esteem. These patterns are like silent emotional radioactivity. The person may be wonderful, well-intentioned, but they are sick inside, emotionally speaking, and that sickness is contagious on the subtle plane. You, being empathetic and open, end up catching some of that low frequency. That's why you feel tired. Your system is spending energy to process and hopefully dissipate a load that is not yours. Spiritually speaking, masters and traditions have always spoken about the importance of environment and company. The Bible, in a non-doctrinal and universal sense, warns that bad company corrupts good character. This doesn't refer only to criminals. It refers to any influence that corrupts, that wears away, that dims your light. When you are in a process of awakening, of inner healing, of seeking a higher purpose, you become more sensitive. It's as if you are tuning a musical instrument. Before, external noise didn't matter as much because your own sound was muffled. Now, tuned, any discord around you becomes glaring. The person with the initial C, in this context, may not be a bad person. Most likely, they are someone wounded, stuck in their own process, and who, for lack of awareness of it, projects their shadows onto the world. The veiled competition is the shadow of insecurity. The humor that sows doubt is the shadow of their own fear of failure projected onto you. The attraction to negativity is the shadow of an internal pain that hasn't been looked upon with compassion. God, or the loving intelligence of the universe, sees this clearly. And like a parent who sees a child approaching a cliff disguised as grass, he sends signals. The discomfort, the mental fog, the tiredness are those signals. They are the alarms of your own spirit tuned to this higher guidance, saying, "Attention, this interaction is costing more than it is bringing. It is pulling you away from your peace, which is your foundation for everything." He is not asking you to judge the person, to condemn them, or to cut ties dramatically. He is inviting you to wake up, to have discernment. Discernment is the ability to see things as they are, beyond appearances and social justifications. It is understanding that you can love someone from a distance, that you can wish them well without allowing their inner disorder to hinder your path. This is a crucial moment because spiritual and emotional advances are often preceded by tests of boundaries. Life checks if you are truly committed to your peace, if you value your energy enough to protect it. Allowing draining influences to continue is like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. You can strive hard, seek many growth tools, but if you don't plug that subtle leak, progress will be slow and frustrating. So what is the solution? How to set boundaries with serenity, without guilt, and without creating unnecessary conflict. The first step, and the most important, is awareness. Simply recognize without self-judgment that this relationship costs me energy. Stop trying to justify the unjustifiable. Stop telling yourself that you are too sensitive. Honor your feeling. This internal validation is a powerful act of self-love. The second step is internal emotional detachment. This does not mean becoming cold or indifferent. It means understanding at the deepest level that that person's reaction, their comments, their energy, have absolutely nothing to do with you. It is a reflection of their inner world. When they make a comment that sows doubt, instead of absorbing it and starting to ruminate, you can practice internally. This is their view, loaded with their experiences and fears. My view and my peace are independent. You listen, thank them if appropriate, and simply do not internalize it. It's like watching a cloud pass in the sky. You see it, recognize its shape, but you don't try to put it in your pocket. You let it follow its course. The third practical step is managing exposure. You don't need to cut the person out of your life unless it is extremely necessary and clear to you, but you can dose it. You can shorten phone conversations. You can meet with them in groups where the energy is more diluted. You can consciously choose not to share certain fragile dreams or plans with them, precisely because you've already realized that is not fertile ground for your most precious seeds. Protecting your dreams is not dishonesty. It is wisdom. You share with those who have ears to hear and a heart to celebrate with you. With others, talk about the weather, about movies, about neutral subjects. This is establishing an energetic boundary with politeness and inner firmness. The fourth step is to strengthen your own field. When you know you're going to meet this person, do a small preparation. A few minutes of silence, a simple prayer asking for protection and discernment, a visualization of a light surrounding you, not as a shield of fear, but as an affirmation that your space is sacred. After the meeting, have a cleansing ritual. Wash your hands with awareness, symbolizing washing away that energy. Take a shower, do a brief meditation to reconnect with your own center. These practices are not superstition. They are powerful psychological tools that signal to your mind and your unconscious that you are in command of your own space. Now let's talk about the healing that can be born from all of this. Facing this situation isn't just about protection. It's about an evolutionary leap. When you practice discernment and establish healthy boundaries, you are, in truth, healing an ancient wound. The wound of not considering yourself worthy enough of peace, of believing you need to carry others' burdens to be a good person. You are learning the difference between compassion and fusion. Compassion is feeling for someone, wishing them well, helping if it's appropriate and possible. Fusion is losing yourself in another's problem, taking it on as your own, allowing your energy to be drained. The person with the initial C is, without knowing it, offering you a mirror. They are showing you where you are still too porous, where you still seek external validation, where you fear disappointing others. By working on this, you not only free yourself from this specific dynamic, you strengthen your presence for all areas of life. You become less susceptible to manipulation, more centered, more the master of your own time and energy. Always remember, The divine message behind this warning is one of profound love for you. It is the care of one who does not wish to see you waste your precious time and your life force on dynamics that no longer serve your growth. It is a call to spiritual maturity, which includes knowing how to choose whom to walk with, even if only for a stretch of the road. I knew someone named Sarah who lived in a constant state of exhaustion. She would speak of a friendship of decades, but felt immense guilt at the thought of pulling away. We began to work on precisely this idea of internal boundaries. She did not end the friendship, but she began to pray for this friend every day, wishing her light and healing, and at the same time, she visualized a frontier of peace around herself. In their conversations, she practiced detachment. Within a few weeks, she told me something profound. The friend is the same. The problems she shares are the same. But I no longer come away from our talks feeling devastated. I feel a peace, even while hearing her difficulties. And the most curious thing, she started making fewer negative comments to me, as if she had sensed the change. The transformation was internal. She changed her own frequency, and the relationship, by extension, had to adjust or lose its force. So if you identified with these signs, take a deep breath and give thanks. Give thanks for the sensitivity that allows you to perceive these whispers. Give thanks for the care being shown for your journey. This is not a moment of fear, but of empowerment. You are receiving the tools to be the architect of your own emotional and spiritual environment. Starting today, you can choose to honor these signs. You can choose serenity over guilt. You can choose peace as a non-negotiable priority. Observe, practice discernment, establish your boundaries with loving firmness, and observe how, in doing this, not only will your relationship with the person with the initial C transform, but all your relationships will gain a new quality of respect and lightness. Your peace is your greatest asset. Guard it with zeal. And if this content resonated with you, if it touched on something true, leave a record of it. Leave a comment below saying discernment if you commit to practicing this more. Your attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you. And strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuru readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment.